Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Media Talks TV. I wanted to jump into this video because there was something that was brought to my attention on the previous video that I put out um 2 videos back, right? And one of the commenters asked me a question. Um he asked me when I'm going to pay Shoopy back. Now, if you've been following me for a while, you know that me and Shoopy are no longer on speaking terms after what happened when I first went to Sosua. And I wanted to do this video, sidetrack from my previous video. I'm going to finish up that story um after I finish this video. But you know, I wanted I wanted to broach this question to one of my commenters on my video of when I was paying Shoopy back. Well, I'm not paying Shoopy back. I've already paid him. He's already been paid. He has $3,000 of my money that I gave him, and I'm not paying him another dime. And the reason being is that Shoopy did not come to a definite agreement about how much to pay him when we before we first touched down in Dominican Republic when he was picking me up at the airport. Now, how did I meet Shoopy? Some of y'all gonna ask, how did I meet Shoopy? Shoopy was on a um YouTube video. He was one of Rio Wick's boys. I found him on Giamo's channel and watched one of his videos. He said he offered tours. Then there was also he was on I forgot the channel's name. Uh what's the name of that damn channel? But it'll come back to me. But he was on that channel. He said that he offered tours. This was back in 2023 when I was first planning to go to Dominican Republic. I had booked my flight back in May and was slated to go there September 11th. I talked to Shoopy a month, no, 2 weeks in advance before I touched down in Santiago, Dominican Republic. He told me he would offer to pick me up in his taxi. He said he had a taxi for $100 from Santiago to go to Sosua. We agreed initially to $100. When we got into when we got to Sosua, he told me he could get me some girls. So I paid him an extra 200 on top of the initial 100 that I gave him. So then he had $300 of my money. Now, in the previous interview that I did with the Andrew show, um, I he stated on Andrew's show back then. You can go on Andrew's show channel. He told Andrew that I came to Dominican Republic broke, which was a lie. When he did that, I got extremely pissed because there's no way in hell I would come to a country with less than $4,000, which I had in my bank account. When I came there and I tried to withdraw the money early in the morning, my card got locked because I had all my money in Bank of America. And as you know, Bank of America, if you go overseas and you forget to call them, they will lock your card from that location. And they only give you a limit of $200 per withdrawal a day. So whenever I was pulling money out, my card would lock for 24 hours and I'd had to call the fucking bank. Now, I'm no longer with Bank of America because of that incident. I've closed my account with Bank of America. Every time I turned around when we were about to go anywhere, Shoopy would sit up there and ask me for more money, charge me. Now, being that it was my first time in the country, I tried to negotiate with him. But knowing who Shoopy is, I I kind of was like cool, calm, and collected. I didn't want to raise no speculations that I wouldn't pay him. So what I did was I cashed at Shoopy the money. And every time I cash app Shoopy the money, I would ask him, did he get the money? I would cash app him $300 a day. That's the side that he won't tell you. That's the side that he sits up there and he lies. I tell him and I ask him every day when I say, yo, Shoopy, I'm about to cash app you. I call him. I say, yo, Shoopy, I'm about to cash app you. Do you got the cash app? Did you get the money? I said, cool. Yeah, good. Then also, I sent him another 300 to Caribbean tours so that he could pick up his money. I sent it through Zoom. I made sure he got his portion of the money there as well. I call him. I say, are you at Caribbean Tours? And he said, yeah. Did you pick up the $300 that I sent you? He said, yeah, you good. Every time I gave this nigga some money, for some odd reason, he pop up with a bottle of champagne. He pop up with another bitch, or he was going to Playa Chiquita with another band of his niggas. He offered to get me um, a buggy, a motor buggy. I let him drive it around. Drop me off at Flip Flops. Called him again. I thought he was at the beach. I said, where did you go, bro? Called this nigga up. I said, Shoopy, where'd you park my motor buggy? He said, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I had to go pick up my boys from the airport. Every time I let this nigga, I was generous with my money with this nigga. I spent a quarter of my money on this nigga. I let him drive the motor buggy. Gave him $172 the third day so he could rent the motor buggy so we go ahead and go to Cabarete. Nigga came, talked about I owed him $60. By the time we got to the fourth day, he said, "You know you owe me $1,100." I'm like, when the fuck did I ever owe you $1,100? When you first got in, you said it was 400. Then by the end of the day of the first day, it was 545. Then I gave him money so that he could set up the tours for the ATV because we are supposed to go to the ATV. I paid $10 for that shit. It never happened. Supposed to go to Blackbeard's. He was supposed to drive me to Blackbeard's. It never happened. It never happened. I spent money on him, fed him at the beach. He got to eat filet mignon, the Red Bulls, all that shit. I was up front with Shoopy. Then when I went to the beach, I was even more generous with my money. I paid $200 in souvenirs from his Haitian friend that owned the shop. I said, "Yeah, I'll go in, I'll spend some money." I did that. That's about $400 or $500 altogether. $500 to $600. I blew through all of my money. I was left with $945 before I got back to the States. And then he told me I owed him $900. That was the last of my money. I had a layover. I had a layover in Fort Lauderdale. I couldn't get that money because it was stuck in it was stuck at the bank because I tried to wire it to somebody that he said his family needed that money for Port-au-Prince because his family is in Port-au-Prince. And the person he wanted me to send it to, the $900 that he wanted me to send it to, her name was Jocelyn Pierre. Jocelyn Pierre was from Port-au-Prince. And I sent the money. And then when I sent the money and I told Shoopy about it, I told him I sent the money. And I told him he had to wait because it was in mediation. And there was nothing I could do. There was nothing he could do. He was going to get his $900, but he didn't get it. I was going to pay him the rest of it, but I already paid him enough money. I needed that money to get back to the States because I needed that money for Fort Lauderdale. The money was stuck. I couldn't get the money. So I had to use my own credit card in Fort Lauderdale to pay for shit. Now, if Shoopy hadn't have drained me of my fucking finances, I probably would have had enough money to give him. But see, Shoopy likes to play games. He'll invite you, he'll take your money and then spend your money on his homeboys while you sitting up there and you don't have enough money for the chicas, for your food, for anything else. It's like he's a middleman. He plays middleman between everything. And being that he's a hustler, I got and I realized this and like the day before I was about to leave. So I took a taxi to Puerto Plata because I was checking out the resorts and I told Shoopy, I'll be back. You could take me home. I'll be back. Meet me at Coco Locos, right? While he was standing at Coco Locos, I was checking out a new garden. I had all my shit packed it up before 7:30. Grabbed me a chica, went to the airport with her. And by the time 8 o'clock came, I was heading out. I checked out a new garden. He didn't even know. He was still waiting at Coco Locals because I didn't know what the fuck this guy was going to do if I didn't have his money. He could have took my passport. He could have called fucking police on me, try to put me in jail or some shit. Cause the last bitch he got for me, I ended up owing $300 to her. And part of that was because Shoopy was trying to play a game on me, using the other chica to try to strong arm me for even more fucking money. So after that debacle, I said I gotta watch this dude cause he playing some fucking games. And then I met this Canadian lady, this white Canadian lady, and we were we were eating at Coco Locos, and she told me you got to be careful with Shoopy because Shoopy is a tigre. He's a hustler, and I was like, okay, I get what you're saying. And a white lady told me to watch the fuck out because all these guys around here, they always trying to look for a quick buck. They just as bad as the women. So I learned my hard lesson from that shit. But if you're asking me, am I if I go back to Sosu, am I going to pay him? No, I'm not going to fucking pay him. I'm not. Whatever I gave him was a generous donation. I'm not legally obligated to pay this nigga. Let's just get that clear. I'm not legally obligated. We never made a business arrangement. This nigga was just supposed to take me to the airport, pick me up from the fucking airport, and then take me back to the fucking airport in Santiago. That nigga couldn't even do that. He didn't even have a car. He used somebody else's car. So he wanted my money to pay the guy that took him there because he was a bum ass nigga and couldn't drive a car of his own. How the fuck you say you're a taxi service and you turn around and you use another motherfucker's car to pick up somebody else. And the car was so fucking beat up. I wish I had took a picture of this shit. The car was so fucking beat up. I was embarrassed. But I went with it anyway because I was trying to get the Sosua. And I was like, man, fuck this shit. Like just play it cool. And then he started showing me photos, and then we were driving through Santiago, driving up and down the mountains and shit. And then he showed me photos of hoes that he knew that he had. He had some Haitian chicks in his stable. And so I was like, okay. And I did what the fuck I had to do. I'm like, eh, he a little bit shady, but let him do his thing. And I was like, okay, cool, cool. We get into town. I stay at the Coco Hotel. It wasn't too bad. Coco Hotel wasn't too bad, but it wasn't up to standard the way New Garden was. But other than that, I don't see Shoopy really lasting out there in Sosua. I don't see any of them niggas lasting out in Sosua the way things are looking. You know, I was blessed because I got to experience the last of Sosua before the raids. So I'm happy and grateful for that. I'm one of the last guys to actually go down there before the raids happen. So, it is what it is. But I don't see Shoopy running through his old spots like he used to. Next time I do go to Sosua, it will probably not be. It will probably be just a brief stop through. Maybe go to Flip Flops and then go on to Cabarete Beach because ain't shit out there anyway. Not like it used to be, probably. But the one thing I've learned, I ain't gonna be around a group of niggas all day. You know, that's not what I want. And when I was down there, I was like a whole bunch of like shit. Look, like, I didn't come on vacation to pal around with a whole bunch of niggas. Like I could do that in the states. You know, I could do that shit in the states. I come down there. I want to be around a woman. I want to be around a nice fucking woman. You know, by the pool and be just me and her. I ain't trying to be around a bunch of niggas all day listening to a bunch of fucking hip hop music and shit. Listen to a bunch of dumbass shit. Like I went to Playa Chiquita and I was like, yo, ain't nobody fucking dancing up in this bitch. The girls ain't dancing. They on their phones and shit. The niggas, they on their phones like this. Like everybody in Playa Chiquita was like this with their fucking phones. And I'm like, yo, nobody's fucking dancing in here. We was 10 minutes in, and I'm like, Shoopy, get me the fuck out of here. There's nothing in here. They not doing them. The niggas wasn't doing shit. They were just standing around, and the girls was just taking fucking selfies. Like all applaud Chiquita. I'm like, I won't step my foot back in that motherfucker ever again. Waste of money. Shit was just ill. Like I know it was some bad bitches in there though. I ain't gonna lie about that. But you know, I just feel as though it was a massive waste of time to just go to Playa Chiquita. I could have went on day trips. I probably could have went to Rio San Juan. I probably could have went to Las Terrenas for a day. I probably would. Next time, I probably will do that. I probably Rio San Juan or Las Terrenas, cause wasn't shit going on and wasn't shit really going on in Sosua. Not like that. The girls was the pool. It was the magnet. Now y'all don't have that magnet no more. Y'all don't have that gravitational pull that that pulls y'all to Sosua in the first place. And I like Sosua is a beautiful fucking place. But the problem with Sosua is there's no clean water, there's no clean running water, and they always have brownouts and blackouts, rolling blackouts. I'm like, I'm not trying to deal with that shit. Like the girls were there, the quality of the girls were there, but when it comes to infrastructure, when it comes to a lack of Wi-Fi in fucking Sosua, y'all don't got it. And that's why I was like, it's nice, but certain parts of Sosua does have to change. You have to admit that. You can't have the same shit going on and think people gonna want to invest in Sosua. And the real estate that I seen, I'm like, it was fucking beautiful, yo. I loved it. If I had the money, I probably would have invested there. But I think the next go around will probably be Santo Domingo and Santiago and Puerto Plata, and maybe a day trip in Punta Cana, but not well a day trip, a weekend trip to Sosua. I mean, that's fine, but I don't see it being something of longevity ever. Period. Like Dominican Republic is a very beautiful country, and there's more to Dominican Republic than just fucking Sosua. I'm sorry, yo. And niggas like Shoopy ruins it for niggas like us because of the games that he fucking plays. That's why we had the situations that we had down there. Too many scammers and fucking grifters. And they try to clean that shit up. But back to my main point. I will never have any type of business with Shoopy ever again. If I deal with somebody, I'm dealing with strictly Dominican people. I'm not dealing with no more fucking Haitians. You can forget that shit. Be mad at me if you want, but Shoopy, Shoopy is a fucking clown. Straight up. Can't be knocking on people's doors and shit late at night asking and then tried to then when we went to the Puerto Plata Mountain, the the Telefrico to go to the mountains. I was taking a picture and filming a picture of the mountains, and he's like, you owe me a lot of money, man. You know you owe me a lot, man. And then gonna tell me to kick the bitch out, kick the girl that I was with to the curb. Try to tell me that shit, and I'm like, first of all, this ain't your fucking vacation, bro. And I'm getting a little tired of you just pestering me about your fucking money. Cause I already paid you at the gate. I already been consistently paying this nigga. But he gonna try and like pester me and strong on me about his fucking money. Why? So you could buy more bottles of champagne or some shit for your fucking birthday? I ain't paying that nigga shit. And you can run and go tell him that. I ain't paying him a motherfucking thing. Now back to our regularly scheduled programming. I'm out.